Hi YouTube. I'm doing another video. Truck vlog. After my last video uploaded and finally got good. Like I said in my last video, I said that I wasn't sure if well, honestly, I said I wasn't sure if the truck would sell. I mean, you gotta come by. Obviously the word's no. Biggest thing is that I thought about that deal with the Camaro with that 400 in cash, and the fact that it would cost 150 for me to go down there. I mean, for me to get it towed, because I talked to a buddy. Yeah, go get it pulled. And to me, that's it. It would have been like a huge risk because of the fact that I had to play. I mean, I'd never seen this car too much, and according to him, the car it needed, like, I think from memory, he told me that it needed like honestly, it needed like a lot of crap as far as like fuel injectors and whatnot and rewiring and whatnot to it. And I'm like, dang, you know, because to me it's like not really worth fooling with per se. And that's just how I feel about it, because the fact that it is what it is on that. To be honest, that's pretty much what it is. You know. So, I have a couple more options for this truck. I mean, I got a guy who's got a... I got another buddy of mine who's got a, well, trade buddy, I should say. That's got a 1990s, 92 to 95 Dodge Dakota. He's got a Stenny cab, short wheelbase, apparently. Well, Stenny cab, short base. Mack truck. It needs a little bit of rewiring on the engine bay, but it's a V6. I'm on the trade for that, and a cool tool to have. Of course, he also will sell it too, so I'm thinking about, and he will take payments on it. I'm thinking about doing this. I mean, which to me, what I would do is I would yank the motor out of this truck with transmission, because it says, you know, mechanical. I know for a fact it's mechanical. I dealt with these. These are like super mechanical, and so wasn't the one on the Dakota. It's because it's right before they went digital, which is what my buddy has on his second gen Dakota and Durango. Oh, bye. To me, it's not really, you know, if I would pull the motor and train out of it, and I would drop it into that truck, and that would make it a really, you know, I would carburet. I would put a fuel pressure regulator, put new headers on it, and new exhaust, but it's not a big deal. They make, you know, total exhaust for this sucker. I mean, for that sucker. And I would put a bigger cam in it and 4-barrel in it, and I would, you know, it'd be pretty easy to do to make it. And I know this motor runs perfectly fine, and since it's got a little bit of wiring mess up in the engine bay, it wouldn't be that hard to make it carb style on it. Really wouldn't. It'd be pretty really easy, because everything would work. As far as this thing, I just pull out a bunch of 88 gauges, light bulb right there for the on those. It would be like straight right here. It would have to be like down this area. It's not this exact one, but it had it right around this area. I'd have to pull the bulb out for the, because I believe that one does have the engine light on and all that crap, which it would be because in fact it, because I'm not electronically fuel injection, and that one was definitely EFI. So it's got a fuel pressure regulator right now. That's why I now got to put a block off plate for the mechanical fuel pump on this truck, which is fine. Like the engine, because it would kind of do what I want to do anyway. But all the gutter gauges wires would work just fine for it. So I had to buy. I still have to buy a wiring harness, but a factory one for that style truck, which is fine. And then that way I can get it running correctly, and that thing would run perfectly good with a V6 automatic. I mean V318 LA on Mac in that truck. And yes, I wouldn't drop the motor in there until I had until I had a hotter cam, a much better cam in it, plus the springs and all that. And like I said, I would go through it, and then I would put it in there, and then I would put the intake manifold on and all that good stuff. Change out to its 4-barrel one and then one not. Because like I said, I would play around with it, and I would have a nice hot, pretty beastie 318. I would make about probably around 252 tires, which would be pretty nice. Maybe 252 tires, but that truck doesn't weigh that much money. I mean, that truck doesn't weigh that much, to be honest. And where it accepts those 318 mounts, I could actually technically LS swap it if I don't want to do that. I can just run LS on it. And that would be, you know, I could do that with, because the same motor mount design as this truck is. Well, I mean, if it fit a Magnum, it'll fit on that, which means it will fill an LS, which means I can put an LS in it stupid easily. So, yeah, I love that. I love the fact that I can just do that, and it would be pretty much baller. I mean, it would have a pretty nice LS motor in it if I could do that, or if I wanted real power, which be awesome. Like I said, not gonna lie about it. I mean, you know, fabricate a little bit and get the motor mounts. I mean, because I mean that's basically what you would do. Is you would take like you would do on this one, is basically what you would do on the other one, which is perfect. It works perfectly fine, and you just have to play with the cross member just a little bit, but hey, not a big deal, literally. And then you got yourself a pretty nice truck at that point. And you hook up the, I would take off this, put a standard column in that truck, and change the dash out to a standard column, and a floor shift, and not 5-speed, but like I said, I just want a low car shifter in it, make it look cooler. Go fast kennel, because I don't care for the Dodge ones on these. They're a pain in the butt. So I mean, in theory I could run that, or I could do the LA, which to me this is pretty much a no-bueno on this one, or I could go that. Or now I got a guy who also has, I mean, that's one potential. Another potential is that I got a guy who's got a F-150. It's a Jelly Bean era, which is 97 to 2000 and I think it's 3. Yeah, because 04 is when they went to that newer style, I believe. You see, yeah, I think it's 03. I think it's on the Jelly Bean era, but this one's I'm pretty sure it's like a 2000-ish. Oh, between 2000 and 2000. I don't think it's early one. I think it's like a 2000 to 2002. It looks like it's the Harley Davidson edition. Looks like it's pretty good shape too, surprisingly. It's got a little bit of rust on the rockers, but what Ford doesn't, or Chevrolet for that matter, for that era. Posts have a good frame on it. Has a missing motor, but I actually know what it is. It's just new spark plugs and stupid O2 sensors put into it. Which, once again, Ford's known for doing that on those. But I had a few Fords that actually ran pretty good, and that, those do run pretty good, honestly. I don't mind them. They're not fast. They're not really designed to be fast. Yes, you can put if it's a 5.4, you can put the Whipple supercharger like they did on the Lightning Edition on them if you really want to get that extra horsepower out of it, but you're going to be spending all kinds of money to do that. To me, it's just not worth it. So that's a matter of a personal opinion on that. You can make more power of it, but it is what it is. And I know for a fact it's 4-wheel drive. I'm pretty sure it's not a 2-wheel drive variant. I don't think. Ain't that? Yeah, because it's 4x4. It's not. See, every one of those Fords I would like to find. I would like to find a nice 2-wheel drive variant. Because I really hate the 4-wheel drive versions because they always have the freaking damn thing stuck on the 4-wheel drive. The floor shift's usually not too bad. It's just either the solenoid underneath the cab, the two right there we messed up, or it's the one up there it's usually messed up. And they're not exactly fun to play around with, to be honest with you. Which really sucks, to be honest with you. But other than that, it's good cab. It's got steady cabs, 4-wheel drive, automatic. He might actually do a deal with me on it, depending on what it is. And I also got a guy, and the reason for those who are wondering why I'd be interested in a Ford that Jelly Bean era is because of the fact my mom we had quite a few of those. Well, we had about 2 of them. She liked it. She liked that F-150 we had. Rode great, drove great, pretty reasonable. Got insanely good gas mileage out of it. Surprisingly, the frame on that. And the only reason I'm interested in is because my mom actually we had one and drove really good. And they're actually not bad vehicles, to be honest with you. They don't make a whole lot of power. That's one of those I wouldn't buy just to put power into it. I would just buy just to, basic mains and just drive the snot out of it. Put a good system in it, and that's about it. That's all you can do with those trucks. Unless you want to throw insane kind of money in it. The only way to make real power of it is like I said, you had to spend lots and lots of dollars to do that, and I'm not interested in doing that to that truck, because I know what they do, which is not a bad thing. Just that would be just a cruiser, in my opinion. Nothing more, nothing less. Just a slow cruiser, which is cool. They make good. They're fun. They're not like this truck. You can't really. They're not. You can literally make this truck. I could literally buy a crate motor short block for roughly what it costs to make that Ford be as quick. To make it quick. To make it slightly quicker with the horsepower, which is insane to me. Because for those who don't know, you can buy a short block for this, for a 360 L8 Magnum. Let me rephrase it, not an LA style, but a Magnum 360. You can get a short block for about $3,000 for those who are wondering. Between $3,000 and $3,500, depending if you got a quarter or not. And that's insane, To me, that's a brand new Magnum, though. So, you can literally get a nice, new motor for what it costs, to put out. And it would be basically the same level. By the way, you can get 420 out of the crank out of those, usually, on those Magnums, pretty stock, especially if you're going to carburet it. So that's why I'm kind of or you can buy an LS motor. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. My video is kind of blank. I know you guys are seeing faux wood and green and all that crap. I did pull the radio adapters out because I'm not really sure what I want to do on truck wise, and yet my buddy actually would like me to keep those because the fact that, one, if I use them on the Dakota, I ain't gotta buy it. You know what I'm saying? 2, if I don't get a Dakota period or Dodge product period out of the thing, then I would like to have the this to put DAP to whatever. If I get the Dakota and I am talking about and just do payments on the truck and whatnot, and then I can turn this into you know, I could still use the parts of that, and I could just do something with the shell of this truck, i.e. put an LS motor into it or something like that. In that case, I would put an LS motor in. So I would put a 727 in this sucker. I would experiment the crap out of it. I ain't gonna lie about it. Actually, I know where several parts trucks are sitting at. I would save up some money and then I would put a 318 in that one. The motor of this would get running correctly in that Dakota, and then I would go on Marketplace. I would save up some money and buy a four-wheel drive variant that has a bad title to a truck or something, and I would pop this cab onto it with a good motor and trans, and then, you know, it'd be pretty much a nice running truck at that point. Because this still be a nice penny, because there's still quite a bit of these trucks laying around. I mean, I found 360 LA style Magnum, not Magnum, but 87 model of this with a 360 in it and everything. Just didn't have title of this cab, title of the cab, which just has a good title and it's a good cab. So I could just literally, in theory, I could just pop this off, put it on the other cab on it, and then boom, I got myself a four-wheel drive 360 truck, which to me would be freaking awesome. I ain't gonna lie. People say, well, you're not actually doing that. Well, problem is that I would normally do that, except for the fact that I don't know if the guy would hold it. If the guy would hold it, I would, in theory. I mean, I would in theory, but I would literally hold. If the guy would hold it, I would actually legit buy it off of him for what he wants for it, because I could use the parts off of that truck. I would literally yank the cab off that truck, and I would literally use everything on that truck to transfer over this truck, and then I would make myself a hell of a 360 truck, because it's the same motor. They didn't go fuel injection on that until technically 1990s on those, which is what the EFI on those were. And I could use everything on the drivetrain: the 360 motor, the transmission, the 4x4. I mean, I would literally use everything off that truck. If the doors were better than this truck, I would use the doors on this one. I mean, use on that one. I mean, I'm not beyond doing crazy stuff. By the way, I did fix that hanging doodah. What it is that that actually goes on the back of this panel. So, for those are wondering. So I like that. I like the fact it's fixed. And I like the fact it's I like the fact it's fixed. But I did fix that while I was, you know, playing around. But honestly, guys, I mean, that's what I would love to do that, because I mean, to me, I would just throw a motor. I mean, I'm not gonna lie about it. I would just straight up do that. I would just take out by it, knock cab off of this one, take a cab off of this one. I mean, knock the cab off of that one. I mean, get all the cab pieces I need on that one. Then cab swap this one over to that one. And then I would, you know, I would go with standalone. I ain't gonna lie about it. I would strip the frame down to nothing, and then very much wire brush it, paint it, Raptor line. I mean, I would wire brush it. I would primer it, and then I would Raptor line the crap out of the whole frame. I mean, every bit of that frame. I mean, every bit of it. And I would take everything off of this truck. I would compare the two pieces, and I would literally make one hell of a nice truck. And believe me, I would use a 360 over a 318. There's not an F to that. Yeah, there's not an F. Yeah, that's not even an F. And I would do the short breaker system on this one. I would do on it, and that way it can be a true carbureted truck. Instead of a retarded lean burn 318 crap. And I would sell the motor out of this truck, obviously. And with the transmission, I would have a spare transmission. Well, actually, I would have back then. No, I wouldn't, because my buddy doesn't want a transmission. He doesn't want a 727. So that's basically what this is. But for those who are wondering, this is a 727. For those who are wondering, which is mechanical. It's all speedo. That's why it's very simple, rudimentary. There's no control. There's no electronic controls on this trans at all. This perfectly fine. Which is why I want to. If that's one reason why. If I did get to Dakota, I would literally just pull this. I would want to keep this engine train combo. That way I could drop it into that truck. Because this is perfectly mated for it, obviously. And it's make killer power in that truck. And yes, a 318 would be hell of a quick. I mean, that'd be pretty damn quick. And it is pretty quick on those Dakotas. Because you're basically talking about 3,580 pounds. Yes, they were they were also offered as that in the Dakotas on those years. No, it wasn't the LA style. It was more of a, well, some of them were LA, some of them were Magnum. Just depends on what you want to go with. But they were definitely not carbureted. I can tell you that right now. And that's going to make a big thing. And plus, I'm going to put a bigger cam in it. So true duals out of it and everything. So yeah, it would make way more power. And it would be way faster than it's supposed to be stock, which is awesome. And yeah, that would be pretty freaking killer, in my opinion. And now, you know, I would have fun with it. And if I got tired of it or bored of it, I can just turn around or sell it for quite a bit of money, because there's not going to be many people that are going to say, hey, I don't want this. Especially if they're running, driving 318 that's been spiced up a little bit. And that'd still be the same way as a Camaro and be just as fast. I mean, not fast, but just as fun. In a truck useful form. Now, but here's a big truck. Here's my truck offers. See, well, here's my offers I got so far. I got potential. I could buy another. I got a potential buy a Dakota. Which, if I did, you know, so be it. I would literally yank this sucker out. This motor. Just I would talk to them. Actually, let me keep the motor and transmission in this truck and whatnot. I would talk them out. Let me keep this truck, and I can crush this truck at one later date. Or not crush it, but I would pull it and put it. Like I said, I'm always finding 360 deals. I mean, somebody will have like a short bed truck with a 4-wheel drive system that doesn't have a title or something stupid, and I can have it just laying around in the background. Like, okay, I can have this. I can plop this cab onto it and still be pretty useful. You know, because I don't mind them at all. So anyway, that's option 1. Option 2 would be that I get a hold of that guy again on that 360 guy and see if he would just hold the truck. And, you know, like I would, you know, tell him like, hey, look, man, I'll have all this money this date. Can you hold it? I can give you this X amount of money this Thursday, and you know, it's not like you're not gonna be able to, you know, at that point you would like, you know, just tell him what's up, see if he can do it. If he does, boom. Option that would be just, you know, straight up swap, boom, boom. Everybody, Bob your uncle. Option number 3 is that I got a guy with a Harley Davidson truck. I'm gonna see what he's thinking. He might not. Option number 4 is that I got a guy who's got, well, potentially he's got a Ford F. He's got 2 1-ton trucks. Well, he's been having a problem with his the GMC one, so he's got a 78, 79 GMC 1-ton dually, 3500 custom flatbed. And then he also got a 85 or 86 F350 1-ton dually, both manuals, both I think 4 or 5 speed trucks, and pretty good trucks. I mean, both of them. He'll definitely sell one or the other, because he definitely doesn't want to keep both of them. He always like that. He's always want to keep one. I mean, he's always want to keep one of them. Then he'll turn around and sell the other one to me for a reasonable, you know. Well, I call it reasonable, but it's not really. I mean, it's not. I don't really call it reasonable. I just call it I can afford it barely. But it gets me into a 1-ton game, which is what I want. I want to have a big. I want to have a big truck. I don't want a super big truck, but I want one I can pull with. A Classic that is natively straight up natively carbureted. No, this truck's not. But I mean, this is not native carb. I can make it native carb, but same as a Dakota. I can make it. It's one of those I have to make it on these ones. But I'm trying to get the 85 is definitely naturally carbureted, for sure, factory style, which is great. And then the definitely the square body obviously is naturally, just, I mean, it's old, has stupid points on it on the motor, so it's definitely naturally native. Not a problem at all. All right, so great, beautiful. So I got that truck. Both of those trucks' options are natively carb, which means I ain't got to put a regulator to it. I ain't got to play butch to wire a little bit. That's kind of awesome in my opinion. But would I do it to this truck? Sure, not a problem. I would do it. It would suck, but I would do it because the fact that I would make it, because it's like pretty much there. It just needs a few tweaks to it to make it full carb, which I would get rid of I would rewire. I would put a couple distributor block I can't pronounce it, but it's what it is it's like it's blocks that you put on there that you can put your power wire, ground wire, and all that good stuff. Cuts out a lot of that computer crap entirely. You have basically one run into you hit your power wire, or you can run power to the get your 12 volts. And don't worry guys, if you it will still work. It'll run into your power to your bus bars and whatnot. Well, think of it as bus bars instead of anyway. And then you run off of that, and you can run off that, and all your other stuff would natively work just fine, and it cuts all that crap right out. Bob's your uncle. All the gauges on this side work just fine. All the gauges out there work just fine. Your hots and negatives, your wires, your horns, all that works just fine if you do it correctly. It works just fine, not a problem. Which is what you want, by the way. You don't want anything major. In fact, you don't even have to cut all your wires, just a few specifically. Honestly, you have to to bypass a few of them. You just take out the ones going to your solenoid and your computer. You could just cut the computer entirely right out of it, literally, because the computer doesn't do anything on this truck, literally, other than retard the controls the retardism on the late burn on this carburetor, which is, that's, well, it's kind of, but not really carbureted. But it's not TVI. TVI still has electronic control. That is somewhat electronic control. That one you can get away with doing that. You can cut that entirely right out. You cut that right out, your truck will literally just turn right over just fine. It's called straight up a bypass. Literally, all you gotta do is just take your and you don't even have to mess with that, to be honest with you. You can just take and put your hot wires, like I said, there's a few ways to delete that and bypass all that crap. You can just cut it off entirely. You don't have to run it if you don't want to. 85, in fact, to be honest with you, 1985 version of this, if you really want to go like really old school, I mean, if you want to get, before everybody starts freaking out, like 85 and below had not a computer on this truck. It's the same cab. This is actually, I think, either 86 or 87. I think this is 86. Same cab. I mean, heck, they say they didn't even change the grills out until like 88. Then I went to the uglier style on the front end of the grill. But same computer crap. But anyway, I was gonna say with 85 and below, they didn't have that computer. You could literally get a kit. You can get a wiring for that if you really wanted to. You could just run it where straight up, and then you could just. There's multiple ways to do that. I'm not going to get into that discussion in this video on that. But there's a few ways around that to do that, which would be fun, actually. I'm not even going to lie about it. Now I'm thinking about it. Because all you gotta do is just put a solenoid on that and that jumps the starter right there. Or you can bypass the solenoid by literally just putting it on like I said, the distribution block, and that would pretty much make your power fuse and all that, and then you could bypass that thing out. That like I said, that stupid solenoid that always fails on these. And at that point, it's a pretty much true carb truck, literally, in every sense of the word. Look, you just cut that wires right off of that, put that right there, because this truck specifically does not need it. The only reason why it needs it is if I was keeping a stock computer. In fact, I can show you, because this has got the stupid stock carb on it. That's why I said it's kind of like TBI, but not really. This is the plug-in for that stupid part of the plug-in for this carburetor. It was naturally on this truck, which does your retarded burn and whatnot, and that controls part of your thing. And what that does is it provides problems with your computer. I did a lot of research on that. You do not need that computer. You can literally cut it, and it doesn't do squat. And I mean absolute squat to make this thing run. And all your gauges will be just fine. You will lose. I'm gonna do the cruise delete on mine too, because I don't care for the cruise control. But yeah, you literally will have all these gauges will work. Your truck will turn over and run just fine. You absolutely do not need that computer to run correctly, because it is not controlled. No, never mind. You will have to run a pure carb setup on it, like straight pure, which, like they did back in this, like you basically had to put like a strip. You would have to put, like I said, you would have to put like straight power by carburetor. I mean, straight carb, HI distributor and everything. And that would run on its own power and crap, which is fine. You can tack right into the thing on there. There's a few ways to fix that. Not a problem. And poof, Bob's your uncle, and it'd be a pure carb running truck. In fact, my 85 was that I got rid of. Beautiful, by the way. I love that truck. I should have never got rid of that truck, because I was fucking idiot, but my truck had issues at the time, and I don't know why. I don't know why I got rid of it, because we didn't get in their damn car anyway. I should have kept that damn truck, to be honest with you. And I should put this cab on it. I should have kept that truck. I'm not gonna lie, but I should have kept that truck and redid all the wiring on it. But anyway, that's a different story for a different date. This is getting kind of long in the tooth on the video. But anyway, that's my 4 options. I'm gonna go ahead and relist them off real quick. I can talk to a guy to get a Dakota, make payments on it, like 2, maybe 3, and yank motor and trans out of this truck to put in that truck, because I'm not LS swapping that truck. It's just, oh. Anyway, number 2 would be, what was number 2? Oh, talk to a guy who's got a 360 truck, and same thing as this thing is, just got a 360 better motor, 4-wheel drive, play Frankenweenie on it, sort of. I say sort of because it's technically factory. I'd just be cap swapping and chopping the computer out and doing, like I said, I'm literally make it run pure ass carb, which would be awesome. 3, maybe on the Harley Davidson truck, or AKA Ford F-150. Kind of interested because it's Harley Davidson. I never had one of those. I think that'd be kind of cool. Plus, one of my favorite trucks my mom actually liked. 4, I could talk, blah, blah, blah. But 4 is, I would definitely talk to the guy into doing guy to let me have one, get off a 1-ton truck off of one guy. I mean, technically 5s, I could just fix this turd up and resell it for something that, you know, I get more out of it. But to me, if I want to do that, I might as well go to number 2, which is talk to the guy with the 360 truck, like get the bigger motor and everything else. And then just, you know, because I mean, I would like to have this 4-wheel drive. To me, I ain't gonna lie about it. If I want to get a big turd, if I'm gonna get a heavy turd, I'll have a turd that, you know, I can use it. It's 4-wheel drive and not bad. And this is not a bad truck to me. And it's not. It's a pretty cool truck. It's got a powerful engine in it. The 318 is not, well, I should say powerful and like rip roaring, you know. No, it's powerful as in like, I should say powerful. I should say more like pretty damn reliable, to be honest with you. These are actually good and solid motors. They're underpowered like the 305. Got more pep than the 305, but definitely can use a little spice to it. And unlike the 305, you put a little spice in this, it actually you'll hang 10 with the big dogs. On the power wise, you can easily get about 300 to 400 horse power on a 318. It's not really, it's a lot of money to do it that way, but you can do it. It just depends on how much money you really want to throw at it. But, you know, more cubes, more displacement equals more easy to make power. You know, that's kind of why I'm going with the 360 idea. And plus the fact it's full drive, that's really a big selling point. I ain't gonna lie about it. Yeah, it's great to have a 360, but 4x4, that'd be actually pretty cool. I like the 4-wheel drive on these trucks. They're actually really, really tough. They're really strong. And they're stout. Kind of really missed the one I had on my short wheelbase, I ain't gonna lie, that I had. That's kind of why it drew me into this truck, to be honest with you. And the fact that the guy was willing to trade, and I was like, damn, can't pass that up and get it, and I can't get rid of the sucker to save my life. Anyway, I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.